Hi, I'm Jennifer Peebles, and I'm a journalist with TexasWatchdog.org. We're a nonprofit news website based in Houston, and I want to tell you a little bit about our latest interactive project, which came out just the other day, which is a Google Map mashup with a whole lot of information on it about our Texas State Legislature. So I'll start by telling you a little bit about what's on the map and where we got the information. We have 181 state legislators here in Texas. That's a whole lot. I think it's more than just about anybody else in the country. We started by creating a map showing where all the legislators are from, and then we combined that with a lot of information about each individual legislator. To me, the most interesting piece of data in the map, built into the map, are the state ethics forms for the legislators. I call them ethics forms. The formal title for them is something like personal financial statements. And these are forms that the legislators are required to turn in every year to the State Ethics Commission, basically listing where they get their money from. They have to say what they do for a living, who employs them, what stocks and bonds they own, what debts they have, what businesses they own an interest in. They have to list any businesses that they're involved in with a lobbyist. And to some extent, they're also required to give that kind of financial disclosure for their spouses and also for any dependent children for whom they oversee the financial matters. We have on our map this year, we have the 2009 ethics forms, which the legislators had to turn in earlier in the year. But we have, in this new map, we have an improvement over last year's map. Last year's map, we just gave you the ethics forms for that year. This year's map, we give you not only the ethics forms for 2009 and for 2008, but we've also included in our mashup older ethics forms for longer-serving members of the legislature. Those forms we did not actually procure. They are online through the goodness of the nice people at the Center for Public Integrity, which is a nonprofit, nonpartisan investigative journalism outfit based in Washington, D.C. And they were posting the forms for legislators from all 50 states on their website up until a few years ago. I think they may have started that project back this year, actually. But if you go to our map, you can see the 2009 most recent ethics forms for each legislator. And for anybody who has been in the legislature that long, you can also see their 08 ethics forms, which we have. And then you can see forms for anybody 2006 backwards in time that we have linked to from the Center for Public Integrity's website. Another piece of information we have on the map as part of the mashup is links to campaign finance data. Each legislator has two links to campaign finance data. One goes to a search for the Texas Ethics Commission's website. The Ethics Commission is the sort of official repository in the state for all of our statewide campaign finance data. But there's also another link to followthemoney.org, which is a wonderful site that's run by the National Institute on Money and State Politics, and they are also a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. I think they're based up in Montana. And they really were collecting electronic campaign finance data for the 50 states back years ago when a lot of states were not requiring electronic filing. They were getting paper records and they were doing the data entry themselves, which is wonderful. So in some cases, you will be able to find campaign finance information that's older on their site than you could through the Ethics Commission's website. Some other cool things that we have in the mashup this year, we have links to each legislator's sponsored and authored bills. Those links go to the website of the State Legislative Council, who maintain all that data. One thing I wish we could give you on the mashup that we can't is how each legislator voted on bills. That's kind of tricky, basically, to get at. It's not that we don't want to give it to you. We'd love to give it to you, but the information is not readily accessible through the web. If you want to see how a legislator voted, you have to go and page through all these pages of PDFs in the House and Senate journals, and it kind of makes you want to pull your hair out. So that's one thing I really wish we could give you on the mashup that we can't, but maybe someday we will be able to. But some other information on the mashup includes we have links to wiki entries on each legislator. We have Wikipedia, which everybody's familiar with. We also have a link to Ballotpedia, which is a smaller wiki than Wikipedia, but it's another, it's a wiki. It's something that everybody who registers can go in and edit and add to, and they have a page for every state legislator, and if you see something on there that you'd like to add, then you or anybody else can go in and edit and add to it. I knew when we did the map last year, we got a tremendous public response. The Associated Press wrote a story about us, which we were very grateful for and very pleasantly surprised by, because these forms had not really been available online since the Center for Public Integrity had kind of gone on hiatus with their disclosure project. So it was hard to get these forms because the state doesn't put them online themselves, and the state probably will not put them online unless the legislature changes the law. I knew when we got that tremendous public response last year that we could do more with it if we were able to marry the ethics forms with other useful bits of information about the legislature. So my goal in designing this year was to try to create the most comprehensive, central, one-stop shopping, if you will, outlet for information about the Texas legislature or about individual legislators that the average person can find and use. It's sort of a portal, if you will, for people to go and find out about their legislator or any legislator.